Y'all, I'm Michelle, owner and designer of Wisp and Wonder Designs. Today I'm going to show you how I make my multi-ribbon bows. These are going on gift bags for Childhood Cancer Awareness Month at the hospital. And so I'm donating 30 bows for those bags. So first of all, some things that you'll need. You don't have to have this. I just find it easier if I have multiple bows to make, that this makes them a little more uniform than maybe my hands can, especially if they get tired. So this is an easy bow maker. I got this one from Deco Exchange about 5 years ago when I first started making bows and wreaths. So it has little measurements on the side and a place to hold your ribbon. And then these two hold your ribbon while you work. It's very, very handy. So I'll be using that. I have multiple ribbons in different colors and textures and prints. I'll be using, I think there's 5 different ribbons. And then I also like to use zip ties to tie everything off with. You can use pipe cleaners. My hands don't tighten things very well. So I like to use the zip tie for added security and then run like a pipe cleaner through it to tie it however I'm going to use it. So let's get started. I'm going to move this to where hopefully you can see more of the table and less of me. There we go. Okay, what we're going to start with is the 2.5 inch black. I'm using this kind of as my base because it's really sturdy. So I'm just placing that on the spool. And then I want about an 8-inch tail. You can do your tails any size you want. Just for this particular bag, I want about 8 inches. And so I'm going to pinch all my ribbon together like this. And then I'm going to twist until the ugly side of the ribbon is facing up. I'm going to sit the twist down inside my bow maker to hold it for me, because mainly I'm using this as my hands. You can be taught different methods, but that's what I kind of use it for. And then I want about 6-inch loops. And so I'm going to just place my hand right at 6 and get enough ribbon to make a loop. And then I'm going to pinch my ribbon together again. I'm going to twist it to where the ugly side is facing up again. I'm going to the 6-inch mark, and then I'm going to fold it back towards the center and pinch my ribbon together again in between the little rungs here. That makes my other loop. And for this particular bow, I want my tails to go up and down. So I started down here. I'm just going to go up on this top one here. Now, I'm not measuring this part. I'm guessing that's about 6 inches or so. That doesn't really have to be exact. It can be whatever size you want. Okay, and then the next ribbon I'm using is the black and white. It's a 1.5 inch polka dot. And since I started going down on the first loop, I'm gonna go up on the second. So I'm gonna pinch my ribbon together. I'm gonna twist to where the ugly side is facing up, and I'm gonna sit it down in between the fingers here. Okay, now I want to fold my ribbon back to the center, and I want the loops to be about the same size as the loop I started with. So I want it to be about 6 inches, and then I'm gonna pinch it together again and twist. My ugly side is facing up. I'm gonna make it about the same size as the loop before. So I'm just kind of holding it and gauging it here. And then I'm going to go back to the center, pinch down, and we started up, so I'm going to swing this tail down. So it's basically making an X. And then I'm going to cut this tail a little longer, about the edge of my table. I just happen to know that's where I want it to be. So you've got 2 sets of loops at about the same length. And then we're going to add another ribbon. I'm doing the black and white and gold. So we have a pop of the gold, and I started up, so I'm gonna go down this time. I'm going to pinch my ribbon together and then twist to the ugly side faces up, and then my fingers inside my bow maker here are holding it for me. And now I'm going to lay it out to the edge of the first ribbon here, and then I want it to be about the same size, so I'm going to fold it back towards the fingers, and then I'm going to pinch together, twist, ugly sides facing up, and then I'm going to fold it back to the fingers again, making sure my ribbon is about the same length as the previous 2 loops I've made. And then I'm going to swing this tail up and then cut it about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches, 6 inches. I just would rather have more than less. Okay, and I'm not moving them yet. I'll move them where I want them once I have all my ribbons on here. So the next one we have is the black and white stripe. This is 1.5 inch. Just set your rule down, your spool down, and I'm going to go up with the tail, pinch together, twist, ugly side facing up, down inside the bow maker. And I kind of have to hold it with my other fingers because it will pop out. This just needs to be tightened up. You can adjust them as time goes on. Now I want this loop to be about an inch or so, 1.5 inches shorter than the others. So I'm just going to bring it in. I'm going to pinch it, twist, loop inside those fingers, and then about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, about 1.5 inches, and then pinch and pull down your tail. Since you went up, you're going to come down this time. Okay. All right. So everything is almost in here. And then I have the awareness ribbon. So again, I'm going to make this one about 6 inches, and I'm going to pinch it and twist till the other ugly side is facing up. I'm going to sit it down. And this one is just going to be like a little, like the finishing off my bow. It's not got to be, I just need a little puff of it, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to cut the top off. So it's basically like a little tiny loop. Okay, so everything is in there the way that I want it to be. And now I'm going to use my zip tie to tie everything off. I don't like to pull everything out from under here until I run the zip tie through, because my hands, they lose grip. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to run it underneath everything, making sure I get all those ribbons the way they're supposed to be. And then we're going to tighten it up. Not all the way, but just enough so that I can maneuver my ribbons if I need to. So now what I'm going to do is kind of lay the bow out the way that I want. I'm going to take the gold and white and go up, and the black and white and go down, and then I want this black and white laying in the center. And I'm going to do the opposite of what I just did. So the black and white's going to go up, the gold and black is going to go down, and then this one is going to be in the center. And then these tails, I'll just kind of cut those off. They don't have to be exact. Okay, I have the bow laid out the way I want, so I'm going to lift it out. I'm going to still hold it pretty securely, and I'm going to turn this around so it can be tightened from the back. And then I'm going to take a pipe cleaner and then run it behind the zip tie. Just run it underneath the zip tie. Oops, I might have done that too tight. Don't do it as tight as I did. Just run it underneath the zip tie, leaving about half on each side, and then tightening it up. And then you can cut it off. And you want to make sure you cut that really close so that it doesn't scratch anyone. Okay, so here we have the bow. I'm going to fluff it out. The ribbons are wired so that they fluff out nicely and they look real pretty on what you're using them on. And I love ribbons like this, especially in canvas, because you can manipulate them and they look good for years. If you take care of your bows, you really can use them for years. So now I'm going to dovetail my tails. And this isn't exact. I like to do them all different sizes, but I know I want the bottom part longer on the bag than the top. So we're gonna fold it up to a slant. Fold it in half, your ribbon, so that it's touching. And then you're gonna cut up at a slant. And that gives you the dovetail. And then you're just going to do that all the way around your bow in different lengths, however you want to do it. Fold your ribbon in half, cut up at a slant. Fold in half, up at a slant. Fold in half, up at a slant. And really you want to make sure that you've got good scissors, because if you don't, it can kind of hack it up a little bit. Okay, fold in half, up at a slant. And then I just do this all the way around. And then it's easier to put like everything where you want it to be as far as these tails go. Once it's on the bag or however it's being used, it's a lot easier to do than just on the table. Some people have like a box that they sit their bows on so that they can fluff them out, which works too. So there you have it. We have a cute little bow that is going on some gift bags for childhood cancer awareness. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little quick tutorial of how I make my bows, and I'll see you next time. Bye.